This is probably the toughest thing by far that I've ever done.
Uprising is a trekking organization and an NPO that takes people to the mountains to climb, to journey and to transform. And we've taken the Imperial Lions, the pride of Josie, up to the highest point in South Africa, Mafadi, over the escarpments, to have the experience of a lifetime and to build their team spirit and their unity.
Team building things, 1 day or 2 days, everybody is used to those things, but this was completely different. We didn't know what to expect. We knew that there was a lot of walking that was associated with the climbing.
Not too much really wanted me to make the decision. Obviously, it's a good opportunity. Part of our pre-season, we always do something. It ranges from year to year, but yeah, obviously this year we decided to take on Mafadi without anyone's input other than the Jono. So yeah, it was either way. We're out here, there's nothing we can do about it.
It was something I was dreading because I felt we didn't have enough time to prepare. But also, I thought to myself, using time to prepare was probably an excuse. It's actually a privilege to do something like this, so let me just buckle down and do it.
This is a place that not many people in South Africa ever get to experience, and it is one of our jewels of the country. The Drakensberg itself is absolutely pristine, but this is literally the highest point in South Africa, and to say that you've achieved something this physical and mentally challenging is something.
I guess the whole purpose behind it is just to bond together as a team, and generally when you go through difficult times together and challenges together, that's how you come closer together as a team.
First time I've ever done it. I think it definitely is a must-do. Maybe once, maybe twice, I'm not too sure. Just a surreal experience that you have to rely on yourself, you know, to get by. Whatever you've got in your backpack is what you're going to be using, and I think it also gives you a sort of sense of accomplishment.
I'm enjoying it. I think a lot of guys are enjoying it undercover, but it's been difficult. And yeah, it's all a good challenge, I think.
Yeah, man, it's exciting, man. You always want to do hiking and stuff like that until like when you got in, yeah, and you felt like yesterday it was tough, but then whilst you were doing it, you could like have some goals and push your limits and carry on, even though it was tough. Most of us were cramping and we were like, this is too hectic for us, but we kept on pushing with one goal to achieve what we came here to do.
There is less oxygen up here, so it feels harder than what it is, and you're going uphill continuously, and I think the guys really struggled mentally to understand that their bodies could do this, that they could keep pushing and then stop and keep pushing and then stop, and that their bodies would keep recovering. And it was just amazing to see them helping one another, even helping me at some points. They're an amazing team of humans.
This is probably the toughest thing by far that I've ever done. Oh, and it's only day one.
This is up there with one of the hardest things that I've done in my life.
Heartbreak Hill broke some hearts. that was horrible.
It's very tough testing to the body, and it needed you to be mentally strong, because there were stages where we felt like, no, this is enough, and we're still even halfway, and we're still gonna go push through the whole way. So
Guys wanting to give up, and you find that guys are sharing the load in terms of carrying each other's bags and just carrying the weight that certain guys has.
The guys who helped me up offered to carry my bag so I could get up Heartbreak Hill. That was phenomenal. And I must say, it came from the guys that I expected it. But the nice thing about this whole trip is guys that you don't expect to lend a helping hand have actually helped out. And definitely that's what team building is all about.
Heartbreak Hill is very heartbreaking, I found. Just a massive incline of just over a K to getting in there in the dark, which is also just not something we are ever used to. But either way, it's nothing we could do about it. I think we were pulling each other up the hill. Wasn't easy, but I guess rewarding once you finally get there.
And I think about the last 3 kilometers, it probably took us about 2.5 hours to get up. And that was where the challenge was found for us as a team. And eventually we got through it. We made it to the base camp here.
But I really enjoy, the where we are, being in the middle of nowhere. Really taking the views and appreciating where we are. So, bit of quietness and a bit of peace is also quite nice for me personally.
When I think of the sleep, I was listening to some of the guys talking about how it went. Some of them spoke about if they had half an hour's sleep, that was a lot. It was quite windy last night, still is a little bit at the moment. And if we look to our right here, there's a little bit of a hut. And there was a loose part of the roof that was rattling quite a bit, so that woke up the guys.
So we kept inside the hut because we did feel it was a great move, strategical move from our point of view, from the three of us, but turned out to be horrible.
So we stayed in this little hut over here, and the roof was absolutely slamming the whole night.
Concrete was cold and the roof was shaking. Felt like that thing was coming down any second.
And obviously just the wind on the tent made quite a bit of noise, so guys struggled to sleep. But that's what it's about.
A lot of people think it's just climbing a mountain, but there is so much more to it. Aside from the physical and mental challenge, there is no greater demonstration of teamwork and unity than on a mountain. You cannot hide on a mountain. It brings people together in the most extraordinary way.
This is not something that I'd wake up and think of and do with the rest of the team, but I was quite impressed with the attitude of the guys each and every day when they woke up, how they looked forward to each and every day and conquering the whole thing.
Guys are fresh now, they're ready to take on the new day.
The morning started off great, with a cold cup of coffee and some dry rusks, so that started off well.
I think it is a massive shock, like you don't see anything in the evening. And when you wake up, you're just surrounded by hills and valleys and mountains and like birds, and it's something to take in.
I think I learned today with the bags how to pack them and stuff like that. I think the first day we just packed everything, which it was dragging us back, but now we kind of land and we want to go up again, and I think it's better than yesterday, the way we packed our bags.
Even though guys are saying, I don't know if I'll do this again, if you're doing this by yourself, it just doesn't have that value add that you're actually looking for. It's about going through these tough times together.
Very steep climb, but I really enjoyed today. It was a much better day.
Yeah, the climb was very hard. I think I was tracking on my watch. I think we ended up doing just over a K in elevation. Started off obviously very mellow, traversing through the mainlands. Once we hit the base, it was straight up from there, loose rocks. A lot of guys struggling as well.
The first stretch of hiking was actually very enjoyable. That's probably the first part I enjoyed, only part I've been enjoying. And then the climb. The climb was also amazing, You gotta love that climb. Jesus. That was horrible.
And we've climbed Judges Pass, which was this monumental mountain, if I could put it that way. Just the physicality of it, I think a lot of us were quite exhausted, but yeah, the journey there, looking back, I would say, was quite an exciting one.
Standing at the bottom of the mountain, looking up and thinking, there's no way that there's a path up this thing. There is no chance we can get up there. city now, champion. We're on the top of the mountain.
So yeah, it wasn't the easiest, but when we got to the top, it was very rewarding. It did take us a hell of a long time to get there though, but yeah, like I said, it wasn't easy, and it was, at least we got there at the end of the day.
Yeah, the morning was quite chilly and windy. It was quite a rough night for most guys with the wind pumping. But there was a sense of excitement in the air to actually see the thing that we've been looking forward to or trying to accomplish the most.
We woke up very early in the morning and we packed our stuff, and the walk was long, I won't lie. It was very long, it was very sore on the body, it was tiring, but it was well worth it.
The one escarpment that we did get a look at the rest of the Drakensberg was unbelievable. I think that's one of the things that could be one of the highlights of my trip, actually. Having a look up there and then seeing the Cape vultures just flying around. As you're going up it, you sort of look back and you see, wow, we've conquered this like little by little, and you can't believe actually how much ground you cover in such a short space of time. The build-up was quite tough actually, because we were put through quite a lot for the first 3 days. Eventually getting to the top, I think as a team, I think we were so happy just to be there. I was really proud of a lot of people. Going into the week, I was a bit skeptical on if a few of the people would make it, and a lot of people surpassed a lot of my expectations. So I was really, really happy with how some of the guys managed to toil through the challenges that we had encountered over the 3 days. So yeah, getting up there as a group was definitely really good, and I could see the relief on a lot of guys' faces.
Through everything that we went through together, and saw some guys celebrating and everybody being happy right at the top there. And to me, when I look back into the team, I saw a lot of happy people, and the togetherness, the brotherhood that we normally talk about in our change room. I saw quite a lot of that, and it was quite emotional for quite a lot of the guys in the change, at the top of the cliff, but it was well worth it.
Guys sort of, I think, treasured the 20 or 30 minutes that we had up there. I mean, it took us 2.5 days to get there, and yeah, you could only really spend 30 minutes. So yeah, it was really, really good. On behalf of the Lions and behalf of the pride of Josie, to really do that as the leadership of the team was really special, you know, leaving our mark on top of Mafadi. It's not something you really do every day, walk up a 3,000 meter mountain. So yeah, really, really good to be up there.
I know that a lot of people wouldn't go there and try their luck out, but we realized how lucky we are as a team to get the opportunity from Uprising, and also from the Imperial Lions, and also our sponsors who sponsored this trip for us, that we got out there and we got to get to the peak of the mountain, the highest peak in the country, as a team, not just as individuals, as a team, and we came back together as a team. So it was quite emotional, but it was well worth it, as tough as it was.
Like one of our teammates said, we actually basically just reached the halfway point because we still had to obviously make our way back.
Next lady for a shave! Who's next?
We sort of made our way a different way back down. It was called the Smuggler's Route or Smuggler's Pass, if I'm not mistaken. And looking at that, you're literally standing at the top of a mountain looking down, and you just look at it and you're like, oh my God, are we actually gonna climb down that? And I think a lot of guys had to conquer both their fear of heights and their fear of not being in control by climbing down, basically the mountain that we climbed the day before. So it was very, very intimidating, really, really difficult. I saw a lot of guys breaking at this point. We just soldiered on. Guys just stuck heads down and just got on with the job.
That walk was frustrating because we couldn't wait to get back to the campsite. Everything just a couple of minutes before we got there, when we could see the campsite, all the emotions came back down.
We had to pitch our tents in a bit of rain, so it was another challenge. And then waking up this morning, guys were up at 5 o'clock ready to get home, myself included. I was up before 5, literally got up, packed everything up and tried to get out of there as quickly as possible. But again, we had another bunch of challenges to obviously encounter. Number one, it was still wet from the night before and there was still a lot of mist that was around. And then we had to sort of descend with a lot of sore bodies, and we couldn't really do it as quick as we wanted to. I think we were trying to do it in our minds in half an hour, but in reality we had about 11 Ks to do, and it took us well over 4 hours to do it.
Proper nature, overcast, gloomy, all types of conditions, so enjoying it. I'm going straight to the bus driver and tell him to start the bus when we get there.
Pretty emotional, but we're almost there. It's been thrifty. But here we go. Up and onwards. Proud of Georgie, they say.
Taking in nature, taking in the amazing views, because this is an experience of a lifetime. And even though guys are saying, I don't know if I'll do this again.
Again, it's a once in a lifetime thing. I don't think if you asked me to do it again, I don't think I'd be able to do it because it was that tough.
As a team, I've enjoyed it, but as an individual, stay away. If you don't need any building to do, sorry, don't do it. Trust me, don't do it. Go to Clifton, go to the beach, go have a good time there.
Overall, it's a great experience, and like I said, very important for the success of the team. Could there be anything better to test the guys out of their comfort zone? I think we've hit the best.
That mountain broke me. A couple of times I doubted myself. I doubted why the hell I was even on that mountain, but I still managed to find strength. And if there's anything that I think the majority of the boys and the rest of the management and also the team that they found, that they learnt a lot about themselves and how strong actually each and every one that we have in our camp is, and the belief that everybody has now going back home is just immense. And I think that one thing we took away from there is that everybody in his right state of mind any day is as strong as they want to be.